It's a yellow light. There's the yellow light. Hello, 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 hello. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good night, good times, whatever time it is, wherever you're listening. Join with me as always, Mr. Chris Cute.
Hello, peoples.
And Mr. Alan Robinson.
How you doing, fellas?
And Mr. Joe Whitaker.
You're right, Samuel.
And
Scroll's great, yeah.
Jamie Page.
Oh, real bitch.
Great, my first bleep.
edit, Joe.
Not even a minute in. Awesome.
How's everyone?
I'm all right. I just woke up.
Every time we don't have a guest, we just sit here and giggle at each other like a bunch of idiots.
Yeah,
there's a reason for that.
It does seem
Bunch of idiots.
Right, let's try and get this show back on at least some kind of ancient cobbled causeway. This week's shout outs and thank yous go to the Woodworking Shed, Nick Zametti, Highland Boxes, Crosscut Creations, KSFWG, Andrew McQuillan, and Jim Dockrell. Big thanks to everyone who hit the like button and shared all our stuffs on social media from last week, etc., etc. Don't forget, we're all over the socials, just like Alan's all over his mic at the moment. Quick run through the sponsors. So today's podcast is brought to you in part by the Toolmasters Association. Save, build and learn. To find out more about the Toolmasters Association, how to sign up today, visit izzyswan.com/Toolmasters. Also, Yorkshire Grit, Wood Turners Abrasive Paste. For more info, visit yorkshire-grit.com. And also, we've got our other sponsor. It's not my internet. I'm trying to think and read and failing miserably. Chad from Mancrafting, who is still giving away one of his mugs each month. So one of our lucky listeners should win one of those soon. That kind of is the sponsors, is it not? If you want to find out more, visit makersinternationalpodcast.com/sponsors.
That's right. And yeah. And we also got another giveaway today, starting where you can win a 1-year membership to Izzy Swan's Toolmasters Association. It's used the same means as winning as the cup, which we are going to announce at the end of the show. You can go over to the Facebook page and click on a link, which will take you to the website, and you can enter your details into there. Again, it will ask you for your email address and your name, so we can contact the winner afterwards. There's a means to get extra entries, just like last time, or you can go directly to makersinternationalpodcast.com, scroll down, and click on the Toolmasters Association giveaway picture. And that will open up the Gleam app, and yeah, you can win a pretty awesome prize there. So thank you to Izzy for giving us that.
Awesome. And if I may add, or if all that sounds confusing to you and you're wondering what do I do again, simply look in the description of the show today down below where it says click see more, and then right there it'll say TMA giveaway link. Click on that link and it'll take you directly to how you can enter, because we try to make things simple. Even though we fail every week at it.
I'm going to go and that's good at that because we're all simple. That's actually a really cool price, because don't they, correct me if I'm wrong, Chris, there are some quite good money off discounts with all sorts of people that are involved with TMA, don't they? That's a good, potentially an expensive prize.
Honest endorsement, I signed up when Izzy started it. That was way back in January. By February 1st, the amount of money that I had saved already paid for my 1-year membership. So yes, it is a great thing to get involved with, and Izzy's doing a lot for the community with that. It's not like you're not getting anything for your money, because you are. If you're interested in buying some tools, there are some excellent vendors out there. Izzy doesn't have people on there that don't have awesome customer service. So if you're looking to buy something, you can get it there, and you can get it at a discount that most people will not ever get.
I'm going to go enter my own giveaway right now.
Yep.
For me personally, I think the money that you pay is worth the classes and just the community itself.
Yeah, and there's classes that are done on a weekly basis, and the community over there just friggin' rocks. So yeah, there's a lot of pluses to going to the Toolmasters Association.
That kind of has Izzy written all over it, though, doesn't it? Because you're kind of getting into something which is supporting Izzy, but at the same time, you're actually getting back more than you're putting in by supporting him in the fact, which is
and you know, I'll be honest with you. I'll be honest with you, and Izzy won't say this out loud, but Izzy takes the majority of that money that the Toolmasters Association generates, and he puts it right back into the community. And it's not something that he takes to the bank and walks away going, he, I got all this money now. He uses it for the community, and he also puts it back into the Toolmasters too. So, because there are also monthly build-offs. Like every month, I've talked about how I never have yet to get involved in one of the monthly build-offs. But this month I did it. But all the prizes that Izzy gives away on those monthly build-offs, they're not given to him. He goes out and purchases them, and he gives them away. So it's money out of his pocket. So it's not like he's making money, hand over fist over this thing. He's doing it for the community.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. And like I said, it's got Izzy written all over it.
Yep.
Do we have, before we, I'm trying to drag out the initial part of the show as long as possible, knowing what the main topic actually is. So do we have like several volumes of random listener questions or anything anyone would like to bring up?
I've got a whole list of questions here. If you guys want to start getting into questions, I've got like bunches of them. But we may want to save some of these until later because we do have a topic to talk about today.
Oh yes, we do, don't we, Richard?
We can go through a couple of them real quick, though. Richard, if you're looking to fill some time.
No, honestly, I was put my teeth back in. It was just, because normally if we have any random listener questions, anything that pops up last minute on the show. But I think we're planning at some point to have like a Q&A episode.
All right, then everybody who sent these questions in, sorry, we're not answering them today. That's Richard's fault. Okay, go ahead.
Yeah.
There's a load of people out there that've just gone from Team Router to Team Scroll. So, thank you.
I don't think I'm that crazy.
Everything is Richard's fault.
So what? You know what? I'm a member of this podcast, I think, and I don't even know for sure what this is we're talking about today. What is Team Router and what is Team Scrollsaw? Would somebody explain that to me?
I think that's got to be.
I'm Team Router, the intelligent lot.
Sorry, say that again.
I'm Team Scrollsaw, the intelligent.
Yeah, that's what I thought. That's what I thought he said.
That's not getting edited.
Yeah,
that'll be the opener.
I've just woke up.
That's no excuse, Jamie.
The truth comes out.
Truth will out. Right, so yeah, what actually are we talking about, Jamie? Because I remember a couple of shows ago, I stupidly made some passing comment about I'm going to do a Scrollsaw project. That turned into me doing a Scrollsaw project, but now we're doing loads of other things. The reason I'm asking is because everyone's asking me.
We're still doing a scroll off, and we're still doing a router off, if you like.
That sounds kinky. Anyway.
And
that sounds very dangerous.
So the scroll off started off as me versus Andrew McQuillan because we still got the same scroll saw. Andrew seems to have gone a bit quiet, so I think he's running scared.
That's right. Yes, I remember now because you said, and then I said, "Oh, I've got the same scroll saw as well," and that was the Heffalump trap that I fell into for me doing the scroll saw project.
Because you happened to mention that you got that scroll saw as well.
Okay,
but so Andrew seems to be running scared.
Okay, are you done? So this seems to be this is a little confusing to me. So we actually are having a challenge going on with the scroll saw.
Yes.
Yes or no?
Yeah, and I'm going to say if there's anyone else out there that's got a Record Power SS16V that wants to take part, so it's all completely fair, then they can let us know and they can take part. It's got to be that scroll saw.
Okay.
All right. Well, that's fine. I totally get that. In the interest of scientific research and consistency and all the rest of it, but pretty much all these tools are made by the same Chinese sweatshop, aren't they? And then they're just rebranded and dished out to. I mean, they certainly look not dissimilar.
Yeah, I suppose so.
So what
I
we
presume
could
so.
do, I think what we should do.
If we basically keep it to a cheap 16-inch scroll saw, none of the DeWalt 788, which are like 20-inch scroll saws, as long as it's a standard 16-inch scroll saw.
Yeah,
Still not going to enter.
In other words, Richard, what the deal is here is Jamie's trying to get a sponsorship, so please don't mess that up for him, okay? Okay, but can I finally ask the question I wanted to initially ask before this went off the rails again? There is a challenge going on, yes or no? Not a hard question.
Yes.
Okay, great. What's
Yes.
the cutoff date? When do the projects have to be done by?
I have no
Well,
idea.
What do you say?
That's what we
What do you
I
say
think
we
we-
decide on
we,
that?
we haven't even just. Yeah, let's get a date started. Let me get a pen down.
Yeah.
Who is Team Intelligence again?
Wow.
Right.
Ladies and gentlemen, listening to this podcast and or watching today, you now see what I go through in between times that we do this thing, trying to organize these people. It's not
Right.
fun, and it's not pretty, but we're trying.
Tell you what,
international
I'm trying to
podcast
figure that out. I've just actually put in the chat, live watching now, a straw poll link so those watching can actually cast a vote, whether them Team
Okay.
Scroll Saw or Team Router. So that's
right.
in the chat now for everyone watching.
Can I vote?
Awesome. So,
Yeah.
I would like
Again.
to. I would like to suggest a date. Doesn't mean that we have to have it. I mean, we can go with however Joe wants to set this up. But I was thinking that if we set the date as our October 29th show, that is going to be our Halloween show. Okay.
Right.
So maybe we could set the date that they have to be done by October 29th, and maybe just, and and I know it's not a huge thing over in the UK, but maybe they could all be based on a Halloween theme.
Ooh.
And that gives
I have no problem with that.
that gives you
I
over a
I
month.
ain't got a problem with that.
It gives you over a month to do the project, and then have it done and readily to be shown and aired to people and put out on social media by the 29th of October.
Yeah, that seems fit. That
I'm
seems fit.
happy with that.
What was that?
I have
Oh,
no
no.
I don't know what that
idea.
was.
Sorry, that was my cell phone.
Oh, I thought it was Al. I thought that was Alan passing wind.
Oh. That's my cell phone going off.
This is my green fog. Hello.
I'm extremely rude. Don't mind me. Turn off the volume. How about that?
So there we go. Now, is that going to be? Is that the guidelines for the router thing too, or we haven't talked about that yet? Is that just the scroll saw?
Yeah, let's get one
That's
sorted
the scroll
first.
saw, yeah.
I mean,
Okay, so the scroll saw challenge goes from now until October 29th. They must be done and posted on social media and hashtagged Makers International or something like that, so that we can actually find them and look at them.
yeah. Well, I'll tell you what we can do. I'm assuming now, I'm telling you what we can do, and I don't even know. But is it possible we can set up a gallery in the Facebook group, the Mix on YouTube Facebook group, and then post it to there? Or if people put like a specific, if we work out some hashtag and we see it, when we could
Yes,
put it
Richard.
there
Yeah,
for
the
them as
answer
well.
Yes, Richard, you could do that.
I
Yes,
could do
Richard,
that.
you could do that.
Okay,
Yeah,
so now I've got.
if you have a certain hashtag, then yeah, anyone can find it.
That's good. Okay, so should we think of a hashtag, or if you're sitting in the chat just wondering what the hell's going on, we could have a hashtag.
Everybody's wondering that right now.
Scroll saw
Hashtag
is better than router.
yeah, hashtag WTF is going on here. Yes, that's
I don't know what's going on. I just work here.
I'm glad we have these organizational meetings live when we're on, because it's it makes things so much easier. It makes us look so much more professional too.
I was going to say human. Makes us look human.
I'm actually really concerned about what audience we have over here, because we've got 5 votes for Scroll Saw and only 3 for Router. So I don't know what we're doing wrong.
That's bad. That's bonkers. Mate.
Who are these people in the chat? We need to talk. We need to talk.
You know, this here is actually an episode I could have just sat back and said nothing, and most of the time I just let my work do the talking for me.
No, you go ahead. You know what, Jamie? I actually, you've made more sense than Richard so far, and you just woke up, so go right ahead.
Well, I was going to say, you let your work do your talking for you, and then how long have you been working on that Tiger for? How many hours?
30.
So slow.
That was a 30-hour project. Now, realistically, Jamie, knowing that you didn't spend 30 hours straight in your shop, and that obviously you've got other life commitments you have to do, that was basically, I'm going to assume, the better part of a week that took you to do that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Thereabouts. Yeah.
All right. And so now we have over 4 weeks before the next one is due.
So Richard's in trouble.
Yeah.
And the next one, okay, now my next question, because there's a challenge here, and this is part of like putting challenges together. Are we going to have a winner and are we going to have a loser?
I'd say so.
Yeah, why not? I mean, I've got nothing to, really bring to the table when it comes.
That's all
to
anybody's been talking about for like a week. I didn't know there was nothing actually planned.
Yeah, Alan, this is why we're having this little meeting today. This is why we're having.
This is a live podcast. We do our meetings.
This is a live podcast, and yeah, this is exactly how we get things done around here. Because it's and I just want people to witness how many teeth I have to pull to get something put together.
It's enjoyable. It's okay.
So okay, let me ask another stupid question. Who's judging it?
Can I?
I will judge it. Alan can judge it, and Joe can judge it. How's that?
Yes.
That sounds. I'd like to say that's fair, but I know that Alan dislikes the scroll sort a hell of a lot. Joe dislikes the scroll sort a hell of a lot. Chris is. I'm going to say neutral.
No, I hate the scroll saw. I pretty much hate the scroll saw.
All right.
See, there you go. Then I'm pretty much screwed.
Competition's over. Router wins. Let's go on.
No. Because I mean, wait, stop. Wait, let's clarify this, because the challenge we're talking about right now is just scroll saw challenge, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so it's going to be 2 scroll saw projects put side by side. I don't have to do either one of them, so I'm going to love them both.
It's just the work that's being judged, not how it was done. So
exactly. So, Jamie, put your fears aside. We can handle judging this and being non-biased. Richard wins. Richard's going to win. Richard's going to win.
Easy. Hey, Chris.
Can't I get free impartial judges? I don't know, like Charles Deering, Sterling Davis, and
all right,
something like that.
All right, then Jamie, let's do this. How about we leave it up? If Richard decides to do his little work there and put something together on our Facebook group, or maybe even on our website, we could have our listeners judge who wins and who loses. That way, it's totally out of our hands.
We've got a poll up in our Facebook group.
Okay. All right.
Let's do that. I mean, the bottom line is I'm really not fussed about, winning, losing, it's the taking part. You know what? No, it's deadly serious. I hate scroll saw. I've done 2 scroll saw projects I've done 1.5 scroll saw projects in the last week, because I did the first one.
You've done more than me, so I think you like it.
No, that's the thing. I didn't even finish the second one because I was just pulling my hair. I just went, do you know what? I'm not even going to bother finishing this because I hate it. I don't want to do it anymore. So for me, I don't like scrolling. For me, it takes too long. I'm too impatient. I'm no good at it. What's the point? Everyone hates me. Terrible. Hate it. But I can still appreciate a nice, it doesn't even have to be a complex picture. I appreciate the finished result. And I think that, without, checks are in the post, by the way, guys. I think everyone that's, going to cast their opinion can do the same thing. It's not.
Yeah. Okay. No, I agree with you. All right. So we've got the scroll saw challenge is settled. It's going on from now until October 29th. It's Halloween themed, and they need to be posted on our Facebook group page, Makers on YouTube, and the winners will be chosen by our listeners. Right?
Absolutely.
Okay. Yeah. So sewn that one up. Deep breath, everybody. I may have to open another beer. Okay. Let's talk about the router. Richard, don't interrupt me while I'm trying to organize things. What's your problem? Are you a host or something?
I'm not finished with the scroll saw thing yet. Because what about everyone else? We talked about
Can we come back to that in a second, Richard? Can we come back to that in a second?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's fine.
Team router. How are we doing that, boys?
Same thing. Do the same thing.
Crickets. I get crickets.
What does that tell
Alan, jump in here, Alan, please. God
you?
help
What
me.
does that tell you?
Sure. Can I get one of those beers off you, Chris?
Here. It's all yours. You're going to need a bottle opener, though. Okay? You go.
I'll be right over.
You mentioned the route when you hear crickets. What does that tell you?
It is going to be the exact same rules.
Okay, let's do the exact same rules, and then let's do a time frame. So, what is the time frame? We're gonna do November through the end of the 1st of December, or what are you guys thinking? Or do you want to do them at the same time, starting now and ending October 29th? How do you participants want to handle this?
My gut feeling would be to do it at the same time, because I'm going to assume that a router project would probably take me less time than a scroll saw project, and maybe vice versa for Jamie. Is that, I don't know, but that would be my initial thing. So if we did it over the same period of time, that basically gives us, equal amount, doesn't it? Because he can just knock out a portrait in 10 seconds, and I'll do ages. And do you want to do a theme for the router, or do you want to just do whatever you feel like doing with the router?
I'm happy to do whatever. I'm going to kick his backside anyway.
Well, if we do whatever, I mean, I'll probably do a Halloween one, because it's Halloween, and actually that potentially is 2 Halloween videos for me this year. Okay.
That's still being used by a complete fool.
Okay, and okay, so same guidelines as the scroll saw. Quick question, because some of you sneaky sons of guns will probably think of this and go, ooh, and start giggling and not tell anybody. CNCs are not allowed, even though CNCs use a router, correct?
Yeah, well, Jamie'd already put some rules in place for this, because he's been posting like a lunatic with the whole router challenge giveaway, haven't you, Jamie? So what rules did we kind of thrash something out?
Yeah, you're not allowed to have any jigs whatsoever. It's standard base, only handheld freehand routing. That's it.
Well, Richard's already out.
That kind of works, because it kind of goes with the whole scroll saw thing, doesn't it? Because you've got to do it yourself with just the tool.
Freehand only. So no circle cutting jigs, or jigs that you can do sitting upside down or standing on the ceiling or anything like that.
All right, now. Okay, that was easy enough. So same guidelines, same timeline, same theme, Halloween theme. The only difference is one is the scroll saw, and the other project has to be done on a router. Now, Richard, let's get back to your question. Who else can get involved, or can anybody else get involved in this?
Yeah, I think anyone should.
I'd say anyone could. Yeah.
Jamie, do we have, and can we reserve, and do you think it would be okay with Chad if we reserved the Mancrafting Makers International mug for October as a giveaway to anybody else besides you two who gets involved in this?
There's a reason we hired you, Chris.
Alan, I'm telling you, if we don't do it now, it's not getting done. You know that as well as I do. So, I mean,
he gave us 1 cup a month to give away, so why not give it away to the winner?
Perfect. So we have the contest, we have the timeline, we have the theme, we have the prize.
Yeah.
Oh, see, guys, and that only took a half an hour.
Just half done.
So that's it. We clock off early now.
Now, what do you want to do?
Me? Yep.
What do you want to do for a podcast today?
That does work perfectly.
Chris, you didn't click go live. We've got to do it all again.
That's probably a better option anyway. That way we'd sound like we knew what we were doing.
Sure. Yeah, that works perfectly. So, do we need the hashtag? Should we work out hashtag? Has anyone put anything in the chat for a hashtag?
Hashtag WTF.
Yeah, can you imagine going through all the social media platforms looking for WTF hashtags?
Yeah, probably not a good idea.
Yeah, there'd be a lot of there.
What about the ones that you already created, Jamie? Team Router and Team Scrollsaw.
Oh, there's already hashtag.
Yeah.
See, I'm just doing some thinking again here, guys. I mean,
that's good.
Everybody just went completely blank there.
ROTS.
Naughty? What?
What about makers INTL?
Help me!
Makers INTL.
Can't be helped.
So
Makers
Joe just
INTL, that's perfect.
Makers INTL. Yeah.
No, Joe's the only smart one so far. He's just totally stayed right the heck out of it. He's just over there in his corner giggling, going, I'm not getting my feet wet in this until they've decided what's going on. Okay. So, Joe, how are you doing, buddy? We didn't see you last week. We missed you.
Yeah, I know I missed our first anniversary, but hopefully the flowers and chocolates will make up for it.
I thought we needed to have a stern talking to with Joe. I thought we were going to break up.
No, it's not Christmas yet. Break up just before Christmas, so I'd have to get you a present.
Oh, that's right. According to Joe, you don't get back together again until after Valentine's Day because it's just cheaper. So we're going to be batching it from the 24th until the 15th of February.
See, and luckily the birthday isn't midsummer, so I can still have a decent run in between.
I'm not even going to ask her name. I'm not even going to ask. Oh,
good God.
Oh, my grief. Right.
Oh, listen,
so we're all sorted.
9 votes to Scrollsaw, 3 votes to Router.
It's terrible.
That's fine. That's
going to
fine.
change.
Because
That's going to change.
My phone's here. I just need to log into my 32 YouTube accounts and just that'll be fine. We'll win it. Easy, hands down.
So, Jamie, just because we're really limiting who can get involved, does the scroll saw absolutely positively have to be a record scroll saw?
No.
Okay, so anybody who has a scroll saw that wants to get involved?
Yeah, anyone who wants anyone that's got a scroll saw can get involved.
Okay. So
doesn't matter if it's a DeWalt 788 to a 16-inch record power or there or otherwise.
Okay, so you know what we need? I just getting this together before we all forget. We need another prize then because we have 2 contests running at the same time. We got one prize which we already talked about is the Mancrafting Makers International mug for the scroll saw challenge. We're going to need another prize for the router challenge. What do you guys think,
Joe?
We're going to give away
anyway. We're going to give here anyway. We want to give them away.
How about I tell you what? I'll offer it up. How about we give away a Makers International polo shirt?
Sounds a good deal to me.
That works.
It comes embroidered right here with our logo. It's white, so don't wear it in your shop and don't spill coffee on it. But yes, we can do that. We'll get one of those, and that will be for the router. People who win the router. Jamie's got one in his hand because I got one for Jamie when we went to Atlanta. And let me click on Jamie so people can see him. Hold it up again, Jamie, so people didn't see that.
You got one for Richard as well. It's at my house.
Yeah, I was going to ask you about that too, Jamie, because Atlanta was how long ago?
A while.
Yeah, and I gave it to Jamie because I said, "Oh, he just lives, right next door to Richard in the UK. He could just pop that over to Richard," and Richard still doesn't have it.
I've been busy. He keeps challenging me.
Yeah. Okay. Next time, Joe, I'm giving it to you, buddy. That's it. That's all I was saying.
Better.
Sterling Davis just said he would give a set of Pegasus scroll saw blades for the rotor challenge.
Awesome.
Nice.
What's a blurry?
Wait to rub it in.
Yeah.
They're the blades that I use.
Oh, okay, yeah, cancel that. Nobody wants those.
Are they spirals or are they just like normal saw blades, straight teeth?
You can get
hang on, let me ask you, Sterling, are they spirals or are they straight blade?
Pegasus do both blades.
No.
Jamie, we're trying to involve Sterling in this. I mean, if you keep answering all of Sterling's questions for him, we're not going to be able to get him involved. It's just
we need to get some notes to give away to the
He already left. We got 1 thumbs down, and he's not here anymore. So where do you think that come from?
The thing with that is a cracking idea, Joe, to route stuff. But the problem with that is it would be very, very limiting in terms of who could enter and be eligible for the prize. Because I've actually looked into this in the past, and there are so many regulations and what's the word? Kind of hoops to jump through to be able to sell router cutters in different territories.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so if you a classic one is if you go to the Trend website, you can click on the like top right, somewhere on the page, you can click your national flag or where you are in the world, and it automatically like expands or reduces the catalogue that's available in your territory. So if you tell them you're in the UK, there's like 11 billion router cutters. But if you tell them that you're in the US, it just goes and basically takes out all the cutters, and there's a few jigs and one router. So depending on where you are in the world, so that would be just, it wouldn't be worth it for the people putting in, because if you were in the States, you'd be like, well, there's no point.
Yeah.
So, and the whole point of it is to kind of show Jamie up. I mean, to get people involved. So,
you know, that this leads into a question that I had that Richard wasn't going to let me address at the beginning of the show, and if this first half hour of this show hasn't already answered this question for you, my friend, then I don't know what will. The question was, would you guys ever consider doing a build collaboration together where each of you does a certain part and then passes it on to the next person until it's finished?
Not a chance.
You just witnessed what happens with us trying to put something together. If we ever try to do a build collaboration, the end date on us finishing it would have to be like a year from now.
Yeah, nobody care by the time it gets to me.
I actually would, if Richard was to program his CNC and then give it to me.
I'll do it if it ends with me and all I got to do is put poly on it and then get to keep it. You know?
He would have to end with Jamie if he's still got that T-shirt, because he'd never pass it on to anybody.
Yeah.
I think that's an awesome question and a fantastic idea. I just think there are 5 other guys in the world that should probably do it, not us. That's all.
Yeah, definitely not our thing.
Probably never going to happen. Anyway. Because then we'd argue about what kind of wood we were going to use. I mean, and
walnut,
God knows how many different species of wood there are out there.
There's more than one.
See, then it would turn into Alan, Team Walnut, and Joe would be on board with that. And then, you know, it just get ugly from there. So
we could stretch this out for like 50 episodes.
Team Plywood. Yeah.
Oh, no.
Here we go.
No birch allowed.
I'm a balsa wood kind of guy.
We know how much Chris loves MDF.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Not so much.
Oh, man. I actually like scroll saws more than I like MDF. If that helps you out there. Right now.
I'm going to go with Team Plastic. I don't even want wood.
I honestly don't see what people's drama with MDF is.
It's going to murder you.
No, but that's why we have masks.
Kick him out now, Chris.
That we wear as belts.
We don't have time.
I'm supposed to wear that thing on my face.
Not now.
Okay.
Oh my god.
Just for the other 4, not Richard. Everybody here who loves to work with MDF, raise your hand. Answer. There you go, Richard. That was a lot of crickets.
It's just, it's not.
So
nice
who's the oddball?
but
I guess is what I'm asking.
You know, it's just.
It's useful. It's not nice to use.
It's got its place, yeah. I mean, it's not like finely crafted.
On the tip,
you know. No, it's got its. Generally, I think it's got its place, and you can do some really cool stuff with it, and it's cheap and it's easy to finish, but yeah, it's not nice to make as dust, but you can get around that, can't you? It's not. If you've got a mask, I mean, Joe doesn't even wear a mask; he just wears his slippers and.
Well, he doesn't even wear slippers half the time.
Slippers and for winter. That's my winter PPE. Summer, shorts, T-shirt, barefoot. Winter, T-shirt, slippers, joggers. Done.
Commando.
Yeah, but that's for both.
Yeah, that's Chad.
What are we talking about? What do I got to wear? Sorry, I had to leave for a second there.
Apparently not a lot, because Joe's a commando.
I'm already not wearing pants.
Dear, oh dear. You know, it's like everything else. It's got its place. Like the scroll saw.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. No.
Cool. So,
Richard, hey, as long as you're happy, then I'm happy for you, my friend. So that's cool. There's no argument here. I'm not going to argue one way or another.
There's no point. There's nothing to argue. So we're all sorted on the challenges. Yeah, about us, Scroll Sort, anyone, Halloween.
Yeah.
October 29th.
Ends the October 29th.
Win stuff.
Starts right now, and then Richard's going to be in charge of setting up something on the Facebook group Makers on YouTube to where these photos can be displayed for entries. I'm not looking. Somebody tell me that Richard's writing that down.
Yeah, I am. Literally, I'm writing that down.
Pen sounds.
Facebook group.
There you go. Okay.
I'll look at it in about half an hour and go, what's happening on which Facebook group do I need to go to? My to-do later. It literally is on the back of an envelope though, so be warned. Right. So no, we're all good.
Okay. Wait a minute. No, question number 2 here. Do you guys listen to any other podcasts, and if so, which ones? Because this one's going downhill fast.
That's a good question, actually. And it was a point that you've just reminded me. I was going to ask you guys about, and I've forgotten why. But yes, I do listen to other podcasts.
No, I listen to Woodturners Anonymous.
That's
Maker's Viewpoint.
Wait a minute. Woodturners Anonymous. That's Carl Jacobson, Braxton Wordland, and Jason Roush, correct? Okay. Yeah. And that's SoundCloud, iTunes. Are they on all the socials and have their own website and fun stuff like that?
I think I listen to it via their website. Oh. I'm not sure if they go via any other means.
Okay.
Maker's Viewpoint.
I'm not familiar with that. Why don't I know about that podcast?
I've advertised it for them on our Facebook page before.
Wow.
I never heard of that myself.
All right. I'm writing that down. Okay, go ahead. I'm sorry, Jamie. What else you got?
Obviously, Reclaimed Audio.
Why, obviously? Oh, okay, never mind. Yeah, of course. I love you, Bill.
I'm still trying to work out what a loop is.
Tim and Phil.
Trying to work out what a loop is. Actually, my shout out today reminded me of Reclaimed Audio, or something that happens in Reclaimed Audio. So like, you'll see why later on. Why I mention it.
I listened to Maybe I Said Too Much. That's with Izzy, Joel, and Mike Laffey. That's a relatively new podcast, but those guys kill it. I mean, Laffey's both. They're all three freaking hilarious. But Joel is the succinct one. You know, Joel's just the one who walks in and says, the answer is don't be a dick. And Laffey is just nuts. And Izzy is obviously, amazing. So who else do we I guess there's Making It. It's the big three, Jimmy, Bob, and David. Joe, I know you listen to some stuff, don't you? What podcast do you listen to?
I don't even make it to my own. Never mind listen to anybody else's.
No, wait a minute. See, Joe's lying because he has to edit. He has to edit each of these podcasts, so he does have to actually eventually listen to us.
I think he's got a few tricks up his sleeve.
Joe has to go through this hell twice.
Really.
Okay. Alan, what about you?
My favorite podcast is called Hollywood Babylon. It has absolutely nothing to do with making. So,
okay.
Oh, here we go. I've just thought one that isn't making. It's Onliners Tech Tips YouTube channel. It's the One Show. So there's a lot of people who's actually interested in technology and computers and stuff like that. That's a good one to check out.
It is. I want to say though, I do listen to Reclaimed Audio. I've always really loved those guys.
Yeah, those guys rock.
And I'm just looking on my podcast app on my phone because that's where I tend to listen to them, like when I'm driving around. Does anyone watch the Video Creators YouTube channel?
Tim Schmoyer.
Tim Schmoyer?
Yeah, I used to live by that when I set up my channel originally. I think that's why I did so successful in the early days.
He's got a podcast, and I don't listen to every single episode.
That explains why I'm where I'm at in the community.
No. Because of the topics he covers. Like one of his recent episodes was when to officially trademark your YouTube channel name, and that's not something that I'm interested in. I don't need to do that. So I listen to something else. So he covers all sorts of various things. Brand deals and getting discovered, and he does consultations with people, and it's quite a broad, it's like making stuff rather than being into scrolling or turning or whatever. It covers everything. So there's that one I listened to, and there's another one it's actually a UK based one. Fools with Tools. Has anyone heard of that one? There's a couple of British guys, which I think they're blacksmiths or metalworkers, and they get together and talk about
new to me,
kind of making stuff as well. They're definitely on Instagram. I'm trying to find their.
Jamie, is there anybody in the chat that has suggestions? Maybe somebody in the chat has thrown some stuff up.
Let's go over and have a look. Yeah. Chad's put this is still a podcast. Oh, he's just talking about Maker's Viewpoint. He's put this is still a podcast. Let's have a look. Tell Woodton Anonymous is on iTunes.
Oh, awesome! Thank you, Andy.
Apparently,
Maker's Viewpoint.
Yeah.
Didn't we recently?
Woodworks has put Making Dead Forever. I don't know if that's MDF. Sorry, they're talking about MDF.
If we're missing any podcasts out there, I mean, guys, let us know, because I mean, we're all about sharing the love. I mean, what the heck?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Didn't we just recently?
Donny Carter, the Green Woodworkers podcast.
Oh yeah. I remember. Okay, yeah. I'm sorry I forgot about that one. Awesome.
There's a lot of them now.
Thank you, Jim. And I know a couple guys that are actually talking about starting up and the Dusty Life podcast too. Of course, right?
Yeah,
and then
Dusty Life.
Yeah. Well, wait. What's the podcast called that Mark Spagnuolo, Matt Cremona, and Shannon? Is that Wood Talk?
Yeah,
Wood Talk. Okay. See, now they're all coming back. All right,
so like the original Maker podcast.
Yeah, it really was. I think it was like the first one, wasn't
it? Yeah.
Didn't crikey, if you want to go back to originals, wasn't it Matt's Basement Workshop? Didn't he start originally as an audio podcast?
Well,
YouTube was even like a.
He was with Spagnuolo and Shannon before. Yeah, he was on Wood Talk. That's the one we're talking about, Richard. He's Matt Vanderlist is who you're talking about. He stepped aside, and that's why Matt Cremona is on that podcast now. So they switched one Matt for another.
Yeah, but didn't Matt Vanderlist have his own audio thing? Because it was like watching a YouTube video, but it was audio only. Because I seem to remember listening to him and listening to Mark Spagnuolo separately on two different podcasts.
That's possible. You know what? That's possible. That's going back in the day. But Jim Bashir's just reminded me. Wes Swain and the boys, they have a podcast called Making Geeks, which is a cool podcast too. So thank you, Jim. Jim's all over this. I love it. Thank you, Jim.
There's
Crafting podcast.
Scratched.
Modern Maker podcast. Okay.
Oh, awesome. Scratched. Yeah, Scratched is one of the best. They're not doing it anymore, but they're amazing.
The Matt Vanderlist podcast is Spoken Wood podcast, and it looks like back in 2012 that was actually going on.
Yeah, I mean, I can remember listening to that before my daughter was born, and she's 9 now.
Yeah, 5 years ago. 5 years ago. That's cool. Well, you know, well, speaking of podcasts that were out there, probably still out there on social media if you haven't heard them, Faking It was a fantastic podcast. That was with a whole bunch of people. Andy Berkey. Who else was on that podcast? I'm thinking Rod Reyes was on there.
Dave Welder.
And Andy from the I Like to Make Stuff group Facebook page, the guy who was the admin there. Yep. So
yeah,
awesome.
Cool.
I guess that covers that question. All right.
And that's what makes this community so, and just something else that makes it good, because there's something for everyone in every little kind of niche breakaway faction. Turners, reclaimed people, just generics, and people who are interested in smaller subsets. Yeah, literally something for everyone. So that's what we're listening to, and we normally, towards the end of the show, we start talking about what we've been watching. So that potentially could be a good segue into what everyone's watching at the moment. So anyone want to kick that one off, or should we announce the winner first?
I think we should do that, yeah.
Yeah, let's do that then. Okay, then we can kick off with you, Jamie, and the rest of us can put our feet up for 5 minutes.
Okie dokie. Right, the winner of the Man Crafting mug.
Oh, and doesn't our logo's on there too, right?
I think so. Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
I think so.
It's just an afterthought.
If you win, let us know, won't you?
If you lift at the bottom, I'm going to cut my logo a bit at the bottom of it as well. There's a hidden surprise for you. Right. First of all, I want to say thank you for the 511 entries. That was shocking when I saw that. But the winner was entry number 389, and I'm really sorry if I mispronounced your last name. It's Jamie Page.
He would win, wouldn't he?
Congratulations! Who's that guy? I've never heard of him before.
There's Jamie Page in the audience today.
Yeah.
I'm disqualifying you on the grounds that it's you.
All right. Well, in that case, the winner is Doug Nina or Doug Nina. So again, I'm sorry if I pronounced his last name wrong. It's from Boydtown, Virginia.
Oh,
or Boydton, Virginia.
You just de-doxed him.
Yeah, I will pass your information over to Chad, and you'll hear from him very soon.
Awesome. It's kind of a nice fuzzy feeling that we've just given something to somebody. And is anyone else getting that, or is it just me?
Oh, don't worry, I'm going to hand your ass to you soon.
It's not. It wasn't the giveaway that's giving you that feeling, Richard.
Well, it definitely wasn't Jamie. Cool. Right. So, what have you been watching then, Jamie?
Who am I watching? I am watching. As soon as I can get back to my notes again, I am watching our good friend Nick from NZ Woodturning.
Mr. Zametti.
Now,
awesome.
Yeah, and he made a light out of matchsticks. Now he had a bit of a problem with the resin, so it was actually let's say a happy accident. The project that he made, and the reason for the shout out is not. Well, there's actually two reasons. One, the end product was just beautiful. For starters, and I don't think it was intentional, but it did come out brilliant. But halfway through the video, Nick, I'm not blowing my own trumpet, and then the video cut away to him blowing a trumpet, and I just about fell on the floor laughing. It was so funny. So, and I honestly just couldn't stop laughing.
So, I like Nick.
If you just imagine Nick just saying, "I'm not blowing my own trumpet," and I'm like, it almost killed me.
It's hard to blow your own trumpet, but you got to admit we've all had a try.
Oh yeah, yeah. So yeah,
that took me a second, and now I have to leave. Have a good night, everybody.
My God.
I'll be right here.
So
that's why dog owners are envious.
So yeah.
Let's get it back on the rails, Richard. Help me.
Believe me, I'm
not saying a word.
I'm trying to be the serious one here.
Joe.
That was such a wholesome joke. You could tell your mother it, and then I thought, no, you couldn't.
Sorry about that.
So anyway,
welcome back to the show, Joe.
So yeah, my shout out is Nick, makercentral.co.uk, Zametti.
Awesome.
Nice one.
Okay.
Excellent. Right, Joe. Dare I ask?
You're a brave man, Richard. Okay, let's just jump into the lions then. Joe, what do you got?
Pack it all into the same bit, and then we can move on afterwards. That's the thought process there.
Well, I haven't actually had a chance to watch much YouTube this week, but someone I always make time to watch is Al's Hack Shack. And he done quite a different video this week, kind of following on from the whole table saw tacos trend. Sorry, Chris, but that's how it started. He's actually made.
Me. Right, go ahead.
He's made hackbench jalapenos. So he actually starts off by making like pickled jalapeno peppers that he actually grew himself. But then what I really like, he goes into making triple cooked chips. And he goes over the distinction of actually what chips are. Because I think the Americans have got it totally wrong. Like mixing up crisps and chips and that whole business. So he actually clears that up for a start. So it's worth watching it just for that. But his humour, as always, it's on point. It's well worth watching for the laughs alone. Video editing, everything about it, brilliant. Check it out.
Good stuff. I was actually quite surprised that you were going to say anything, because I know you had issues with your internet, didn't you, Mr. Branson?
Oh no, yeah. I only got it back on Friday, so I don't know what was going on.
Oh, blimey! Yeah. That literally a whole week without interweb. That must have been.
Yeah, we should be getting a discount at least. So.
That's what I was going to say. It just takes you back to the 1980s when growing up. Did you like go and play football in the park and stuff?
Yeah, waiting for dial-up because someone's on the phone. You can't get on Google.
Chris is like, I have no idea what you people are talking about.
I'm not even going to venture. I'm leaving this alone.
Well, what have you been up to then, Chris? Are you watching anything? Working on anything?
Well, let me do my shout out, Richard. I offered. It's trying to stay on the same theme before we move on to the other things. It's just it's called organization. I offered my shout out up to our listeners this week. I went on our Facebook page, Makers International on Facebook, and I said, hey, guys, how about instead of me picking out a channel to shout out this week, that you guys find a channel that you think deserves some recognition and throw it up there, and I'll choose one. And I had a whole bunch of people. Look, I had a whole bunch of people that offered up suggestions. So there was a lot of love being shared there. I think that's just awesome. Thank you for everybody who offered up a suggestion for me. And how I picked this is I closed my eyes and I pointed to the piece of paper, and wherever my finger landed, that's who won. So
the woodworking junkie.
Yeah, no.
I like that it's printed. Could have just pointed at the screen.
Everything is printed.
I printed it, and then I pointed. I closed my eyes and pointed at the paper. Joe, stop it. You've already thrown this off rails once.
It's fine though, Joe, because that's recycled paper. Chris makes his paper out of his own sawdust, so it's all like biodegradable, eco-friendly.
Sorted.
You know.
Absolutely. And then when I'm done with it, I burn it to keep warm. So, the person my finger landed on, excuse me if that was uncomfortable, was
that was your fault.
Just don't sit down, okay? I need the finger. Was Richard Martin. Richard, thank you for your suggestion. He suggested Bongo from the YouTube channel The Poultry People. Awesome channel. Awesome recommendation. Richard, thank you for the suggestion. And Mr. Morley, you're going to like this one because the last video they put out on that channel was a hand-routed Sesame Street sign. So that's going to hit you on two levels, a router and what you watch normally on television. So I think that's fantastic.
Yeah. But Bongo, I think Bongo does quite a lot of routing stuff, doesn't he?
Yeah, he does. And I'll have and just FYI, there will be links to all these shout outs in the description when this comes out on Wednesday. So there you go. So Richard, thank you for that. And it would certainly be really cool if my fellow podcast mates on a weekly basis, one of them offered up their shout out for our listeners to possibly get involved and offer up some suggestions as well. That's just a subtle hint.
I did that last week, but I did it very privately.
Oh, well, do it.
I got it from
No, if it's not done publicly, and if there aren't pictures, it just didn't happen, Alan. So make it happen.
Okay, well, I'm going to give you a shout out now. This week, I'm going with Waylight Creations. We talk a lot about what gives us inspiration. Yes, Ryan and Amy Bitters. We talk a lot about what gives us inspiration in the shops, and it just so happened in this past week. Somehow have become re-addicted to their channel and have been using their free downloadable templates on their website and everything. And I made this awesome Batman shelf for my living room and everything. So Waylight Creations, Ryan and Amy Bitters, great people. He was the host of the Scratch podcast that I love so much that he completely quit, so I can't listen to anymore. So great.
May I add that they're scroll sawers?
Yes, I know they're scroll saws, and I had to use the scroll saw to make the Batman brackets for my shelf. I didn't have a choice. I didn't have a choice. That's where it falls under. Sometimes it is needed, but I still hate it.
Alan, Sterling's in the chat, and he just wants to mention to you, he says, Alan, you know that they're scrollers, don't you? You know that they scroll some stuff,
only a little bit, just a tiny, tiny.
You can't hold it against them.
And
I
also,
try not to. I don't hold it against Jamie either.
And also out in the chat, we're getting a lot of votes to add Gerald, the Redsmith, as a permanent member to our podcast, apparently, because everybody out there wants Redsmith to do a podcast. So
that deserves a conversation.
Maybe we should, Gerald. Maybe we should talk, buddy. I mean, if you're that freaking popular,
maybe we should talk.
We could freaking use you.
Are you any good at organizing a show?
Yes, I can see the interview now. Can you organise stuff? Do you like the scrolls?
Better English? Can you speak better English than Joe?
Could you take my place, please?
Nobody's going anywhere. This would fall apart without any one of us.
Okay, there you go. I'm on Team Redsmith, so I'm with you guys in the chat. I think Gerald's an awesome guy. Would love to have him on.
He's got my vote. Where is he from?
I think Redsmith is a man. France.
He is France. I thought so. Okay. We did.
So is he about an hour ahead of us or an hour behind us? I'm not sure.
Got to be fairly close to you, right?
Yeah, just over the water.
Yeah.
Mind you, you're just over the
water. What's a water?
Hey, we're international. I mean, we could use a Frenchman, you know.
A water.
Everybody can use a Frenchman.
Because, you know, when we want to talk dirty to chicks, he's the guy to go, hey, do me a favor. Gerald, would you?
He's going to pick up chicks for me.
You silver-tongued bastard. Make her love me. Make her.
Right. I don't even know if he's interested, but he's hired. He'll be here next week. And that's a non-paying job, by the way.
Yeah. Hope you don't want anything for it.
You get nothing.
Just out of interest, Alan, when you say that you did the same as Chris, but you did it privately, were you talking to Waylight Creations and they say
no.
You should do us a shout out?
No, they have no idea.
That's how it came across.
No, I mean last week my shout out was Temple Boy Turnings, and I gave him that shout out because I happened to be speaking with Mike Atkinson, who listens to us every week, and I said, I don't have a shout out. I got to go on in like a half an hour. Who should I do? And he was like, Temple Boy Turning. So done. I was like, all right, we'll give it to him.
Wow. So
I just wasn't listening to anything the prior week, and I didn't want to do nobody, so I happened to like Steve, so I give it to him anyway.
Awesome. Why not?
So it was not public.
Has anyone been watching Andrew Klein's channel recently?
Yes.
Have you seen his new? He's got like a new product idea design thing that he's launched for some. This intrigued me. I'm not decided one way or the other, but the whole concept, this whole product, completely intrigues me. He's brought out a new system for doing router templates with new, like normally when you make a pattern, you plonk it on top of whatever it is you're cutting, and then you flush trim around the edge, but then you have to either like stick it or clamp it and do or brad it or whatever. And sometimes, I mean, as everyone except for Jamie will probably realise, with routing, clamps is like they're kind of your best friend and your worst enemy all at the same time. They can be a pain and whatnot. Basically, he's got like these. They kind of remind me of those floor mats, the rubber floor mats with like the jigsaw puzzle around the edges.
So you can piece them together and make a big mat if you want to,
so you can piece them together and make a really big template. But then you flip them over, and underneath they've got like a grid pattern that's been CNC'd into it, like a perpendicular channels, parallel lines, and then these clamps that fit into those channels. So when you make your pattern out of this template material, which is like a MDF and hardboard composite layered thing, cut it out, clamp it on, and then you can flush trim all the way around without the clamps getting in the way. You just have to move the clamps twice, and it seems really intriguing.
Jamie, wake up.
So I'm not sorry. Bless him. Oh. You look like a little baby.
You had a nap before the show, and now you got to have a nap during the show. You're probably going straight to
bed. Richard for that.
A little Teddy tucked under his arm.
I found Richard for that.
Richard.
It actually is interesting, and what you're getting to, Richard, is that he put a video out on this, right?
That's right, yeah. And this is like an actual product that's kind of hit the market. So
Awesome.
potentially could help a lot of people out. So yeah, all good. Is anyone working on anything interesting that's noteworthy at the moment that they want to talk about?
Halloween scroll saw project, maybe?
Yeah, I'll be probably doing that. I've got to do a plaque for my auntie when I get back home. Finish off doing the Queen.
Why do I always find that funny?
I left her tied up.
1 week he's drilling the Queen, the next week he's finishing off doing her. Oh,
she's gonna get arrested.
I'm telling you.
I'm going to her house on the way back home.
Yeah, I wouldn't go near Buckingham Palace for a while if I were you. That's just a thought.
If he's not already on some kind of register, it's not going to be long, is it?
Make sure you vlog it for us.
I'll do it live.
As opposed to dead. That's dear.
Opposed to dead. I'm just gonna drag his body out front the palace, drop him in a sign out front, and fucking leave.
Oh, jeez. Joe, what are you working on? Please tell me it's a charity and we can all go with something for the Children's Hospital. Just move on.
It's still charity. Sanding a lot.
The headstock.
I've got that layers of plywood that have been all glued up into like a cylinder, and I filled it all today. So I filled all the gaps and voids in the plywood. So I've got to sand it all again now. Before we move on now, Sterling's asked that for some reason, I'll tell you what the tally was for the vote for scroll saw or router, but I think it must be faulty or something because it's saying 11 votes for scroll saw and only 4 for router. So I think it must not be working or something.
There must be a glitch in it. Must be a glitch.
I think so.
No. I know what the answer is. And Jamie, you're not as smart as you think you are. Jamie didn't just wake up. He's been spending the last 2 hours drumming up people to come vote for this freaking thing. That's where he's been. That's why he was late today.
That's it. Yeah.
So that's what
I was the one that gave away the cup.
Oh, okay. So Team Scroll Saw wins today.
I won it originally.
Hashtag scroll saw scam.
I'm not a part of this challenge. I don't care. I'm super happy.
Chris and I, we get to sit back and watch this thing go straight to hell.
You don't. You've got a scroll saw.
I'm not scroll sawing anything.
I shouldn't mention that I have a scroll saw too, should I? I shouldn't. No.
Yes, you should.
No, I won't. I won't.
Mine recently broke.
Shut the hell up, because you'll end up getting dragged into this as well, like I did.
Every single member of this podcast owns a scroll saw.
Yep. And I'm guessing every single member of this podcast also owns a router.
Yes.
So what's your point, Jamie?
Mine's really
everyone on this podcast should get involved.
Probably not going to happen. No. Anyway, so what are you working on, Alan? Let's change the subject as quickly as possible.
Oh, I just had to actually look on my bench to see what's going on. I'm not actually making anything. I was practicing dovetails earlier today for a few hours. That's the best of work I've been able to put in this entire week. Just a bit of practice on handmade dovetails.
Good stuff. How are they coming out?
Gappy.
Serious question. Gappy. No,
Gappy,
you get more confident.
If I rub the sawdust in there and I take the time to clean it up real nice, they look pretty, but they're not perfect yet. I just never have the time for fine woodworking or to put the time in. I need to quit my job, to be honest with you, or quit my family, one or the other,
or join Team Router and buy a jig.
Yeah, the Katz Moses jig. I can make them well with Katz Moses jig. I can tell you that. That's not a plug. It's true.
Can you do dovetails on a scroll saw though? Ooh, there's a challenge.
Yes, you can.
John Heiss can.
No, Jamie. Yes, you can. No, I can't. No, I can't.
I can.
It is technically possible, I think, is the answer.
Yes.
Well, you can make it with you can do them with a chainsaw. I believe I've seen them done. Yeah. They weren't very pretty, but they were dovetails.
Richard, I'm not working on anything. I'm working on trying to finish this hour out in one piece, and we're already 5 minutes over, and Joe's giving us ugly looks. So
yeah, that's pretty much the same. I've got a few things I'm working on, router-based, scroll store-based, blah, blah, blah. But I'll go into that next week because I'm kind of halfway down a rabbit hole at the moment, and I'm not quite sure which way it's gonna go. So I'll leave you all wondering on that front. But it is router and it is scroll store-based. Where can everyone be found? Let's do the socials, and then we can all go to bed. Joe?
Well, I'm at Average Joe's Joinery on YouTube, Facebook and Twitter, and Average Joe's Photography on Instagram.
Wicked. Jamie?
You can find me on YouTube at JP Woodwork, Twitter and Instagram at JP_Woodwork, or you can find all our social medias at makerscentralpodcast.com, not makerscentral.co.uk.
Chris?
Every week. I love them. You can find all my
That's going to happen till May, by the way.
You can find all my stuff on makersinternationalpodcast.com, where you can also, don't forget, we're doing a giveaway for the Toolmasters Association, a 1-year membership. We'll be giving that away. The drawing or the entries are going to be open from now until, I believe, midnight on Saturday. Is that correct, Jamie?
Yep, that's correct. Yep,
so
and the winners will be announced next week.
So you've got from now until midnight on Saturday to get yourself entered in that. We'll be doing that giveaway next week. And that's, once again, you can find that at makersinternationalpodcast.com.
That's correct.
Wicked. How about you, Alan? You floating around on the socials?
Oh, you can find me on Facebook and Instagram, and off and on, sometimes kind of almost on YouTube under the Woodworking Junkie.
Wicked. Now, I didn't forget anyone, what they're working on, where they are, or anything like that, did I?
Nope.
Joe needs to edit in and flip around and make it for the audio version. Everything's good. Wicked. So that, I think, just about wraps up tonight's show. Everyone seems to be nodding. Joe's got his hands together in prayer by the looks of it. So make sure you subscribe to anyone and everyone. Check us out on our socials. I've been Rick Morley. You can find me at brainfizz.uk on YouTube under my name. So once again, thanks very much for listening. If indeed you are still here, you all take care.
Have a great week, everybody.
Ta-ra a bit.
See you later, everybody.
Have a week.